So today I want us to talk about the issue of Nehanda statue, which is being erected in Harare. I don't know if you've seen that information.
I have seen that information, yes, and I've also seen some images that are being posted on social media. I'm sure that is it.
Okay, what is the significance of that statue?
Well, we really value the liberation struggle and those people who were involved. I was involved. Many people were involved, directly or indirectly. And so we value that. However, is it very important to put up some statues and what have you? What is the economic significance? What is the benefit to the people, to the suffering people of Zimbabwe? Whilst we value Nehanda, we value everyone else. But putting up a statue does not mean valuing someone at all, in my view, at this point in time, as we are, as poor as we are. And so I think they are doing this because they are behind the scenes. They are doing a lot of rituals. Remember that Mtuli Ngue last time said that our economy is collapsing simply because there are demons that are causing that. It means these people are busy running up and down with ngangas and all sorts of those kind of satanism to try and fix economy. They have put aside economic principles and the right things to do and focusing more on rituals. So this is what I see. If people don't read this between lines, this is exactly what is happening. These people are, focusing more on rituals other than focusing on developing our nation, focusing on economic principles and doing the right things that can develop our nation. So that's what I think.
Okay, so let's look at the heroes that were important in the liberation struggle. You said you went to war and you fought in the War of Liberation. How important was a figure like Nehanda during the War of Liberation to the people who were fighting?
Well, I was part of the liberation struggle, even though I did not go outside the country. I did not go to Mozambique to train. I was trained locally inside, yes. And then at first I was a collaborator, and at a certain point I fought with others. I was trained to do that, just a short period of time, of course. But yes, the liberation fighters used to talk about these spirits. But for me to say really these spirits were so significant, I would be lying. It's just like it's a belief that, there are these spirits which are helping us, which are guiding us, and so on and so forth. But for me to say honestly that those spirits are the ones that liberated our nation, then I would be lying. What about those who do not believe in spirits? They are fighting wars and winning. And so they could not have been so much important, in my view.
Okay, so in terms of historical significance, let's say for our children and their children to remember the struggle, do you think this is important? Is this why the ZANU-PF guys are doing this?
This is not wise at all. This is not wise. Whilst, yes, we should write the correct history of our nation. We should write about Nehanda, Sekuru Kagubi, Sekuru Chaminuka, and everyone else, including even children who were not born. Because those children who were not born were disadvantaged by the fact that when liberation fighters were consuming whatever they were consuming, they were being supported by the general populace of Zimbabwe. And by so doing, they were using what they were supposed to keep for their future children, but they could not do that. And so everybody is important. Every Zimbabwean is important in our history. Whether you fought the liberation struggle or you did not, wherever, whatever you were doing at that time, or you were not born, but you were disadvantaged. So in my view, everybody is important, is equally important. Yes, Nehanda was important because she resisted colonialism. We value that. But going down the steps, everybody is equally important. It's not necessary at this point in time to spend money erecting these statues, valueless statues. Yes, they remind us of our history, but this is not the time to be doing that. We can do that, yes, at a time when our economy is booming. But is it booming now? It's not. So it is not important. This is not bread and butter issue. We should not be focusing on that.
Okay, I think let us wrap this up. As the Zimbabwe People Power Movement, how are you going to deal with the issue of the war of liberation? ZANU-PF has sort of like monopolized the war of liberation. How are you going to deal with this?
We, as Zimbabwe People Power Movement, ZPPM, we are not going to waste resources putting on things that do not bring about bread and butter issues, unless if our economy starts booming. And now focusing on those who fought in the war, yes, we will make sure that they are rewarded for the time that they spend outside, not working for their families. That needs to be, yes, paid for. Those who perished in during the liberation struggle, whether outside or inside the country, they will have their relatives, their families will have to be rewarded, get some kind of reward, acknowledgement, and also some kind of reward. We will do that, but not to the disadvantage of the general population of our country. We will only do what our economy is able to do. Yes, we go out, look for donations and what have you, that which we can get, yes, we can get that, and make sure that everybody is happy. We lost so many lives, including those who were lost during Matapo massacre. We will grade them, put them at the same level as those who perished during the liberation struggle, because they were killed for no reason, for no apparent reason at all. It was not of their own making. It was not a fault of their own making. And so we will reward them. Take everyone to be important. But we will not have this, what do you call this, hero's acre. Because regarding or grading someone to be a hero is an expense on the on the economy, and that is not necessary at all, because everyone is the same, everyone is equal. This does not mean that we will not reward the time that war veterans spent outside the country fighting or whatever. We will reward that. Thank you.
Okay, so currently war veterans, most of them are living in poverty. How do you think the government should address this? Because most war veterans are getting these pensions in bond notes. What are you going to do differently as ZPPM?
Definitely. War veterans are living in poverty, in abject poverty. We understand that. But as Zimbabwe People Power Movement, we have a line-up of projects for every Zimbabwean, including the war veterans. We are going to do the best for them and make sure that, one, we will give them pensions that will buy, pensions that can buy, pensions that are valuable pensions in form of, yes, cash, and also in form of projects for themselves as well as their children and grandchildren. Most of them are old now, but we will make sure that their families and their children and grandchildren, they have been put in projects that are, valuable, good projects that bring value to the nation. So it will be a win-win situation. They will get money that has the ability to buy, as well as projects. So we have got a lineup of everything for everyone: the youth, war veterans, soldiers, civil servants, non-civil servants, everybody. We have got a lineup of projects and good things for them.
Okay, Mr. Albert Matapo from the Zimbabwe People Power Movement. I'm very happy to have talked to you today about the issue of Nehanda statue. I also just wanted to remind you that there was a reburial of the remains of war veterans or people who died during the Liberation War in Manicaland. And also ZANU-PF is planning to go to the United Kingdom to collect the skulls and skeletons of people like Nehanda. So it seems like a lot of these historical artifacts, they're becoming very important at this point. And I hope that we'll continue to see what happens, especially when the statue is done. We want to see, I see it's a very big kind of structure. We want to see whether it's going to become a tourist attraction, what is going to happen there, or if there are going to be rituals performed there. What do you think is going to happen within this month in terms of the 31 July? Do you have any other things that you want to talk about regarding that?
Yes, there are two things about 31 July. Remember, Senengamu had said 7 to 10. Now he has pushed it to that. It is now becoming so clear that this is a ZANU-PF project, the 31 July demonstration. There is something behind the scenes that ZANU-PF planned. It is not surprising that this is something to do with Emerson Mnangagwa himself and his team. They planned this. Whoever are being called the organizers, they are just being front for ZANU-PF. This is becoming so clear that it's nothing to do with the people. People are being fooled. If people do not know and do not think are going to support this is nothing. What we want is to remove the whole ZANU-PF system and not talking about sanctions, talking about corruption. Yes, all those elements are part of ZANU-PF system. Anyone who comes along talking about a single issue is not, I don't understand. We are saying it is the whole system that is rotten. These people are trying by all means to bring about confusion in the opposition setup, in the opposition platform. People of Zimbabwe should open up their eyes. People of Zimbabwe should think you are being fooled by certain people who are planning something, and this is being planned, obviously, by military intelligence, by CIO behind the scenes, and there are certain people in front. This is rubbish as far as I'm concerned. Thank you.
Okay, so is the ZPPM still on track with their plans?
No, that's why I said anyone who wants to join it can join it, but as individuals. ZPPM as an organization has got its own plans, and we are going to go ahead with our own plans. We will not stop until the people of Zimbabwe are fully liberated. We don't want a half-baked liberation. ZANU-PF wants to come up with another plan like what they did in 2017. That's not what we want. We want the whole system to go once and for all. So ZPPM as an organization is not going to join this foolish, stage managed thing. We are going to do what we are going to do, and we know it. Thank you.
Right, Mr. Matapo, is there anything else that you want to say before we close?
Yes, I just want to say, the people of Zimbabwe, please stop, refuse to be used, refuse to be used. We must do what we are going to do. Wait for it, wait for my signal. I'm going to give signal. Yes, if there is something better than that, go for it. But do not be fooled. What I do not want is the people of Zimbabwe to be used over something that does not work that does not bring about any change, any meaningful change. ZANU-PF has got tricks. These are tricks that ZANU-PF is bringing forward. Is that going to help you? You will see. You will believe my words. I know some people might say this is wrong, but you will see and prove what I'm telling you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matapo. And we'll talk again very, very soon.
Thank you. I love you all.